For 10 years, I've traveled the world in an attempt to film God touching people's lives, and I've captured some of the most incredible moments of faith and miracles ever caught on film. But I've discovered that faith is as much about questions as it is answers, as much mystery as it is certainty. So I want to take you on a new adventure. Together, we'll wrestle with big questions about God, but we'll also see faith in its purest form. It's time to face our questions head on. It's time to see proof that God exists. It's time for Adventures with God. When I lived in Chicago, I used to go downtown with my family, and inevitably we would encounter homeless people begging on street corners or standing at stoplights with signs informing me of their hard-luck life. And I would always feel a stab of guilt and pity. Sometimes I'd completely ignore them, while other times I'd lie and say I didn't have any money. And immediately afterwards, I'd feel horrible, because didn't Jesus say that what you do to the least of these, you do to him? So did I just lie to Jesus? It was enough to make this church kid's spiritual head spin. So when I felt the Lord telling me to film something with a homeless person, I knew this was going to be as much for me as anyone else. So I took two friends of mine, Will Hacker and Jamie Galloway, up to New York City with one directive: find a homeless person God was spotlighting, and in one night, attempt to turn their entire life around. Some friends of ours, the band Big Daddy Weave, had just happened to be in New York at the same time, which gave me the idea to include a personal concert for this person. Little did I know the wild twists and turns this story would take when I stood in front of the band to explain what we were going to do. And what I wanted to do here was kind of play along the whole idea of what Jesus was talking about, where it's like, when you do it to the least of these, like you've done it to me. You know what I mean? When you clothe the least, you whatever. And so what I wanted to do is we wanted to, basically, we find a homeless person here in New York and just like bless the living daylights out of them.
Come on.
And, but for me, I don't want it to just be let's exploit a homeless guy. And you know what I mean? And make ourselves feel good.
Right.
And so what I want to do is I want to obviously bless him, because Jesus told us where we can find him. You know what I mean? We can find him in the least. But then, okay, what do we do once we found Jesus and given him Jesus? There has to be, the gospel isn't just charity. It's like there's an empowerment that goes along when you receive the gospel, when you receive Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So we're actually going to I've already actually found the guy. I found him last night. So he's coming by here at 5 o'clock, and we're just going to hang out with him for the evening.
Okay, so how this all happened is my film crew was going around the city kind of getting shots of New York and Brooklyn. And so I just kind of walked around all day and was trying to just ask the Lord, do you want to highlight anybody for us to bless, and for us to, who do you have for us? And so I saw this kid walking around, and I just had those butterflies that I get sometimes. And so I just kind of followed him like a creeper. And I saw him kind of go into this Burger King. And so I went in there, and part of it was it's not really who I am. I don't really approach perfect strangers all the time. So it's not like it's super easy for me. But the Lord just these butterflies kept going. I knew this is who God wanted me to go after. And so he had already ordered some food. And so I just went and I sat down with him and started up a conversation and told him who I was and what we're doing. And said, hey, my crew's out right now, but we'd love to just hang out with you tonight, take you out to dinner, and maybe get you some clothes or whatever. Would you be open to that? And he said, yeah. So I said, okay, well, meet me, by the Brooklyn Tabernacle at whatever time I gave him. And so then it was just, is this kid going to show up or not? I had no clue if he was going to show.
Darren, what goes through your mind right now before you meet the guy?
All that's going through my mind is I hope this guy actually shows up. That's all that's going through my mind right now.
Are you positive he's coming?
I'm pretty sure he's coming. I don't know why he wouldn't come. But if he doesn't come, then we'll find somebody else.
Hey, you guys, I'm just going to peek inside real quick to see if he actually There he is. Seriously, look without him.
You want to head that that way, or you want to go somewhere, or you want me to split up?
I'm not sure I want to go too far from where I told them to meet me.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you want to just kind of walk back and forth on this, or are you pretty sure it's in here? Was that this guy? This guy, is that Yellow Jacket Hook?
That's my boy.
That's him. Boom!
James.
I know, man.
I was there. Were you here for a while? Yeah, I was hanging out.
Hey, I'm Will, man.
James.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm Jamie.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
And I just want you to know the Lord's heard your prayers. And like, he sent us here for you. Like this whole city of New York, the Lord had his eyes on you. Because I have a thing, I told you I've traveled the world, I film all over the place, right?
That's amazing.
And so how the Lord speaks to me is when because I hear lots of stories, I meet lots of cool people, and I can't film them all, right? And so what the Lord does is he like gives me butterflies in my stomach. And that's when I know, like, this is a story I need to pursue.
I feel honored
This is
being
a
like
person.
the main attraction right now. Like, this actually makes me feel like I got a purpose. I'm sorry to
Come on,
keep
dude,
putting
you
you
do.
guys up.
You
I have
do.
a purpose. Like, yo,
You do have a
I want to be at the
purpose.
end credits and people would be crying for me. Like,
You do have a purpose, and it's different. And I'll tell you right now, the purpose is not what you think it is. You're going to
Yeah.
find out tonight. It's not what you think. It's not. You're going to get blessed
I'm
tonight.
going
It's
to be
going to be awesome.
nominated for an Academy Award. This is my big breakthrough
I can't make that
picture.
promise. But the
Yes.
Lord, I just saw, when I saw you the other day, it was like the Lord made it super clear, and I got the butterflies. And so, like, he had his eyes on you, and he brought me to you. So is this where you slept?
This is why I slept last.
Where, like, on these benches over here, or what?
Well, technically, I slept not at this one.
I want to know the exact one, bro.
I slept here. Now, my back was hitting
Why
this
would you?
and my head was
This
hitting
is
this.
longer, though. Why would you sleep here when this is longer, and you're a tall
Actually, that's a
guy?
mistake. I slept on this one right here. You're right. It was this one. I was just doing that
I
to
was
make
gonna say,
a
this
joke.
is like scrunched
I
up.
slept on this one. But
And the
when you
cops,
sleep
the
the
cops
whole
don't
night-
bug you?
Yeah, for some reason I never get bugged here. Maybe because the security guards don't go. Maybe this isn't their beat. But
Is this where you always sleep?
well, it depends. Like a lot of times, honestly, because as crazy as it sounds, money is literally on my mind 24/7. So a lot of times I will just have that little hope in the back of my head, hoping that maybe if I'll be like a zombie. In 3 days I was like, maybe that guy can give me some money. You know, like literally like following people when it gets to that. You know, hoping that one person like, oh, you poor soul. And like I said, it never happens. So like it gets to the point where my body's like, where I literally, anything I say, I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit right here. And I end up passing out. Usually it's on Fulton Street because that's where the people are. But yeah, you know, in about an hour you'll have that, yo buddy, not here, you gotta go now. I don't wanna see you here again. And I'm like, and it's really embarrassing when it happens to like being compromised, like perfect and normal.
What we could tell you, man, I at least I speak for myself, you know, that we're not promising your life's gonna change, but something is gonna change in your heart tonight. Something is gonna affect you in a way that I don't think you're ever gonna be the same, man. You know, and we're not in it, and we're all beginners at the table of God. You know, like we just all come to Him as beginners, man. And I just feel like something is gonna break through for you tonight, man. And it may begin in your heart. And so if there's any way we could just touch your heart tonight and give you faith, give you hope, you know, there's something better for you. And you know that. That's what your conscience is telling you. There's something bigger for you. There's something better for you than this.
Yeah, like right now, this is like by far. This is probably the best time I had, honestly. Even though I'm speaking about the bad part of my life, this is probably, you know, one of the best times I had since my mother passed because, like I said, those 3 years, they were not nice 3 years. That house was tough. And it just feels good to have people that are actually looking at me as a human instead of looking at me like, come on, let's go there. You know what I mean? And that kills me, you know?
So anyway, here's what we want to do, bro. We're going to talk a lot tonight and stuff.
Yeah, man.
First thing we're going to do, I want to get you some new clothes. Can we go buy you some stuff?
You serious, man?
I'm dead
Like,
serious.
You don't gotta do that for me, man. I feel terrible. It's
no,
like, I want to at least do my job first. I mean,
No, because here's what Jesus said. Jesus said, look, if you've done it for the least of these, you've done it to me. And so we love Jesus, right? And right now you're Jesus. Because right now, like you know what I mean? Like we all need help. Everybody needs help. Do you know what I mean? And so we just want to honor you and bless you. And the Lord's gonna touch your heart.
That really means a lot to me, man.
You got it, bro.
Thank you so much.
You got it, bro. So we're gonna head down here, and we're gonna take you to. What time is it?
Because we gotta go hit stuff before everything closes, and then after that we'll get some dinner. Does that sound good?
That sounds great to me. Really
Cool.
I don't have the credit card. I got a hug, dude.
Dude, that's an amazing story, dude. Thanks, man.
Yeah, come on.
Today, we are looking at the question, how should we treat the poor? And the kind of the adventure that's attached to this is a new one that nobody's seen before. I took Jamie and a couple of other people, and we went to New York City. And I felt the Lord leading us to go and find somebody who is homeless and just kind of try to change their life like in a day. I guess let's just kind of jump into it. Like how, like on an everyday average basis, and we're gonna get to you in a second, but on an everyday average basis, how should we treat the poor? How do we deal with the poor that are around us everywhere?
I had this conversation with my son 4 days ago. We were at Walmart, outside of Walmart, and getting into our car and get hit up for money from a gentleman that had a legitimate story. First of all, I mean, no one wants to be known as the poor, right? No one wants to be a project.
Right.
So the most important thing you do is acknowledge somebody. The worst thing you can do is look away. These are people that have moms, that have dads, that have kids, that have been hurt. They're not a project, and they're not something that people are people, and they need love, right? So the worst thing you can do is not acknowledge somebody. The worst thing you can do is have this overwhelming guilt that shuts you down from being Jesus to anyone. See, most people like this kid, all he wants, you said it, Jimmy, he wanted friends. He wanted to be acknowledged. It's not even the gifts. It's not the stuff. He wants to be treated like a human, like a person. My son Josh, he's 10. He's like, Dad, why didn't you give him money? You always give him money. And I explained to him, I tried to walk him through my process. I said, buddy, I try to be led by the Holy Spirit in every single situation like that. But default, I give money. I help, I bless. The Lord says constantly, it's better to give than to receive, you know? And I would default to giving. I would default to spending time. I would default to being put out of your comfort zone over ignoring or just, oh, I'm not there, and the issue's too big. I think that's a cop-out, and I think a lot of us do it, and I get why.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things is, like what Will said, that I realized that so many of these people never felt like anyone cared, cared enough to do something, cared enough to stop. And so just the act of trying, it didn't have to be perfect, it didn't have to be everything, but that when it's genuine, they know it's genuine. Like when, and so that's what we set our heart to do, is just really to view people as important as I would want to be viewed, or I would want, if I left the earth, I would want my kids to be viewed if they were the ones that were hungry or fell into drugs and were on the street, and
The ministry that this guy needs, oddly enough, is someone just to listen to him. Not to tell him what his problem is, or tell him,
how to fix it.
Yeah, or like just come in and like invade his space and be like, hey,
Yeah.
But he just wants somebody, and we've seen that. He's been nonstop talking for the last 25 minutes.
What I found interesting, we hadn't even gotten to any of the good stuff yet, and he's like, this is the best night since my mom died. Just having people to talk to me. We didn't do anything, you know what I mean? And he's like, this is the best night I've had in 5 years.
When he said that, that blew me away. I was sitting there like, we haven't even begun. I mean, we just met him on the corner. He goes, that is the best night of my life. I was like, what?
All right, man, so let's talk about this. What do you need? You need everything, right? You need a new coat.
You need the shebang.
Yeah. You need a new backpack, because it's going to get cold down here, right?
I mean, truthfully speaking,
crazy.
I feel terrible you guys doing this.
This
you
is
guys
not
are doing so much for me.
Don't worry about it, bro.
All I'm doing is being like a person talking. I haven't even done my job yet, man.
There's nothing for you to give us in this situation. You just got to receive, dude.
Yeah. And you know what? That's one of the hardest things for people to do is receive. And that's what God's always asking of everybody, is just receive my love. I don't want anything back from you, just receive.
And it's crazy,
you know what I mean?
It's like, I'm sorry I keep cutting you guys off constantly, but it's like, it's funny because I'm literally praying for, well, usually I end up praying for money, but whatever the case is. And it's like, now that I'm finally getting what I needed, I'm like, oh man, I don't want it. You know what I mean?
Welcome to the club. All right, let's head in. Let's get some.
Because it feels like I haven't really done anything. Like if I worked for you guys for like a week straight, then I'd be like, okay, I deserve it. But it's like,
This is Ayana, James Ayana. And I was telling her, get us something current, get us something like head to toe, what you need. And I was saying, could you help us? And she said yes. So, yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Anything, right?
Everything. Yeah.
and anything.
The whole outfit. We need a whole outfit.
Yeah.
So, what are you more interested in? You like more hoodies, or would you like a sweater? You don't know? You don't care?
I don't care.
Do you have this in a what do you want, a large or extra large?
Here's an extra
Like, good
large.
enough. No,
Is this too much?
Your other guy, like, honestly, I don't want to take it because the price is like $49 for it.
No, don't worry about it. Seriously. All right, do we have this in a large or extra large? He's not chubby like us. Not as chubby as I am.
He's very tall, so probably the extra large.
Yeah, with the shoulders.
Oh, that looks good, dude.
That looks
Does
good.
it fit
dude.
or no?
Yeah, boom. Done.
It fits. It does.
How's that
fit.
feel good on you?
Feels good, man. It
All
feels
right.
real good.
Let's put this back.
I mean, I did see some Uggs at the Journeys that go for like $225. Those are pretty nice.
Start praying for those.
I like.
Active wear.
Yeah, active wear.
I told
So
him.
you need something a little
I
more
like these.
thick.
Maybe I could walk around in these. They look pretty nice. Shoulder bulge.
Bro, try the.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. Let's try
Yep.
this. Here.
Yep.
That's
All right,
it.
I'm gonna put these.
Yeah,
Put these in the
man.
rack. I'm gonna put these in the rack. Oh, what about those? Look at those.
You have in your
Those are actually really
Yes.
good,
Oh, boom.
No, these are it. These are them. These are them right here, man.
All right,
These are like counterfeit Adidas, but I'll still go.
too. All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Having fun?
This is a blast, bro.
Done.
This is a blast. This guy's face is just lighting up, and that's what's cool, man. That's what's cool. All right, homie. Here's the deal. We need man's not complete without shoes.
Yep.
This guy right here,
Video guy.
video guy, sponsoring some shoes for you. We
getting
want to
some
go
shoes.
get that done.
We're gonna go get some shoes.
We got to go across the street.
They do, but they don't have the right shoes. So James, our
Bro, this coat is really nice.
this not planning the show, not like, but you for sure are hitting our hearts, man, and like we're falling in love with you. I don't know if you can feel that, but like
could
dude, we
definitely
really
feel
enjoy you. So Bjorn wants to take you in there and get you some Uggs. All right?
No, bro, fucking Uggs. That's crazy. Are you serious, man? Yeah. Right there, bro. I was looking at these the other day, man. What is? So. Bro, I don't want
Look
to
at
get
those,
these, man.
dude.
These are $224.
What?
Hey, for real.
Hey, you have to buy those shoes. I will be furious with you
These
if
are
you
nice
don't
shoes,
buy
man.
those shoes.
Dude, this is freaking awesome, man. So,
Those are gorgeous.
these Uggs are fat. Yeah, I think the Timbs are them, man. Timbs are it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All you need now is your rap video, bro.
When you're 18, you're supposed to worry about like, oh, do I have to get my dad's old car? Or like, you know, I don't know, man. It's good for him to wake up, man, just as a person. Like, he's gonna meet Jesus. He's gonna
I like
meet
these,
Jesus.
man. These are perfect.
But like
He's
it's good.
meeting. He's meeting Jesus right now.
Dude, right now,
Will.
man.
This is like.
That's good, dude.
Yeah, he's meeting Jesus right now, dude.
These are it, man.
That's it.
And it's a crazy bargain. They're like $100 off.
Nice.
They were going for like $200, $130.
Oh man.
But, you know, if I'm 95 years old and I forget this, I know for a fact this is the day where my spirituality really got an awakening. You follow what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was kind of like done. Like not kind of, I was done. I mean, I wasn't praying. I mean, like after I met you yesterday, you know, I was kind of like, bliss isn't really the West Coast. But, you know, I was happy. I was gay. I was happy.
You say you're good.
Yeah.
See, people think when you say gay, oh, that means happy.
It means happy.
Back in the 1800s, it did.
See, well, here's the thing, dude. We don't do this to make ourselves feel good. We do this because Jesus touched us. You know what I mean? Like,
And
he did this
hopefully-
for us.
Hopefully, in a few years, I could do this to somebody.
You will. I mean, think about what's already happened, dude. So you got money to go get your ID. You can look like a normal person.
$1 million.
You can go get a job, dude.
That's what I really want, a job. So I can have funds where, like I said, I could see someone like this, and I could say, what do you need? Let me go to the bank. You know what I mean? Where I can do something good for someone.
Exactly.
Instead of,
it ends tonight, man. The cycle ends tonight, bro.
So much.
Come on,
Dude,
bud.
and you get to hang out with guys, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So good, dude. So good.
Thank you.
This is a massive issue to God. The book of Amos is an entire prophetic book about how they're doing all the right acts, but they weren't taking care of the poor. That entire book is based around, I don't want your worship. I'm sick and tired of all this stuff you're doing because you have all the right acts, but you don't care for the people that I care for the most. And I think one of the major things is we know how to do all the right stuff. We have all the right moves. We have all the right, I mean, the government tried this, right? They built these massive projects for the homes, which became the projects. Right. And the reason is you have to change the inside of a human being before you're able to put them, I mean, Chris Valentin says it a lot, like if you take a pauper and put him in a palace, he'll turn it into a prison because he doesn't know who he is on the inside. So any sort of gift that you're giving them, if you don't transform the inside of a human being, they'll transform their environment into who they think they are and what they think they're worth. And that's why I think a lot of the conversations about like, we just need to spend time with people. It actually is a time investment. It's an actual Holy Spirit-led engagement.
The message of the gospel is a transformative power of God. And if we don't believe that, then we'll just begin to minimize that message. Jesus says this, look, go tell John the Baptist the things that you saw and heard. He says, the blind see, the lame walk, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. Yep. If it was good enough for Jesus, why are we minimizing this message, this beautiful message? Because I think when it takes a hold of a person's heart, Jesus says, blessed are the poor, right? But for theirs is the kingdom. Then another translation or another gospel says, blessed are the poor in spirit. So someone could be, just like you said, rich in the natural, but poor in spirit. Yeah. But even so, someone could be poor in the natural, but their real depravity is they're poor in spirit. Do you eat 3 meals a day, or do you?
Now, this is all honestly speaking. The average amount of time it takes for me, I'm not talking eat a meal, I'm talking eat, you know, like something that I feel comfortable that I would eat besides it giving me food poisoning, like half this go, here, you want a half a sandwich that I had 2 weeks ago? Yeah. Thank you, but I appreciate it. No, but it's usually like 36 hours before I eat again. It's usually like a day and a half.
So once every 36 hours?
If it's bad, it's like 2.5, 3 days. The worst it's ever been was like 3.5 days before I actually eat something. But I was getting really lightheaded, and I stole something. I had to. Like, I was getting to the point where I was really ill. I had to take some out of Dwayne Reed. It was like I get it. It was a donut, but I was like, no one was listening to me, and I was really getting to the point of like getting lightheaded. I said, I gotta eat. I don't care if they arrest me, because at least if I go to jail, they're gonna give me a cheese sandwich. Like that's how sad it got, and it still is. Like, you guys are really like saving my life. You guys just gave me clothes, bought me a $140 pair of Timberlands, really $200, but they were on sale. And you guys are treating me to juniors. I mean, like, you guys are literally like my family, honestly.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. Come on, dude. Come on, this is your day, dude.
That's it, dude.
Come on,
you
this is your day.
And honestly, it's not even my day, because I did nothing to deserve this. And that's what shocks me about how nice you guys are. Like, I didn't do nothing for you guys to do this to me. I was just some random guy sitting at Burger King that he approached. He was like, listen, I feel bad. And that's why I just feel like thank you isn't enough. You follow what I'm saying?
Come on, we love you, bro.
So
we love you. We're glad you're here, dude.
I lived in Chicago for 18 years, and it's homeless people everywhere. You know what I mean? And so
yeah.
I just basically spent
what
my
makes
whole
me
life.
any different than that other guy? What makes me
Jesus had his eye on you today.
any different?
Yeah. Jesus had his eye on you.
And that's what makes me so grateful. And I was really to the point of suicidal depression. I'm like, I have nothing. I have not a damn thing, and I'm getting cursed out on the daily. I'm done with it. I was really getting serious thoughts about it, and you guys saved me from that.
So here's what we got. There's one last little fun thing we're gonna do. You've probably never heard of them, I'm assuming, because you're 18. But there's a band called Big Daddy Weave.
Heard of it?
Have you heard of Big Daddy Weave?
Yes.
Are you serious?
One of the Tabernacle.
Yeah, so there's that one. So they're gonna play a private show for us
When?
tonight, after we're done eating. When's the last concert you went to?
Never went to a concert.
You've never been to a concert?
My friend.
What I know, dude, tonight's at night, everything changes, dude. Everything changes. Come on. Everything changes.
This really, has someone ever done something so much for you, like you really couldn't, like words really couldn't describe, like what, how to like say thank you?
Yeah, man.
Like there's thank you, like, oh, here you go, sir, here's 50 cents, oh, thank you, miss. That's it. But then someone does, you know, something like this, and you're just like, I don't think thank you is enough. Hey, like thank you would feel kind of rude to say,
bro.
you know?
It's love, man. Well, you know what? Everything that has happened tonight is without, you know, it's without condition. It's freely you've received. And then you were talking about it in there that you feel this like noble obligation. You want to do something in your life that contributes, that loves and gives back.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's it, man. Just give freely.
Because like I said, before I met you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was, you know, looking like every single bank or ATM I'd pass by, I was really like looking inside of it, like that's how it was. I really felt hopeless, man, like 100% hopeless. It felt like that there was no one there to catch me. I felt like I was just falling and falling and falling, and there was absolutely no hope. And I mean, like I said before, I would never harm anyone or do anything like that because, you know, my mind changed after my mother passed. But, you know, it does come because you're sitting here and you're like, you know, I have no money and the only person I could ask are strangers and they don't want to hear it. And I can't get mad at them for not wanting to hear it, you know. No one has to give me money or whatever the case is. And I got scared, man. I got scared and I figured, you know, well, I have to figure this out because I don't want to die out here in the streets. And it's almost like I become bipolar, you know. I'll think that, and then later on that day, I'll be like, oh, I should just kill myself. You know what I mean? It's like I become kind of crazy out here.
Bro, let me ask you.
And you guys really just like took me out of that whole mental slump and spiritual slump and just like kind of.
Come on.
You know what? Your job is just to receive tonight, buddy.
What do those security guards say?
Hey, tomorrow, it changes. You don't tomorrow you give. Tomorrow you love.
Yeah, come on. And like I said, it's just a really big change for me because, you know, I'm so used to, you know, like being looked at as like that thing. I am like a human, you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, here's the deal. Like, we're all like dads, right? You're 18, you're not a dad. We're all dads. And like, God, he tells us he's our father, right?
Right.
And like a father wants to save his kids if they're in trouble.
Right.
Like a true dad, that's what he wants to do. And this is just, honestly, here, hold up. This is just a rescue mission from your father. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's what this was. He was a rescue mission because he was sick of seeing his kid begging for change on the street. He says, enough is enough. And he pinpoints you out of an entire city. I mean, that's our dad.
That's heavy words.
That's our father, dude.
That is huge.
That's your
man.
father.
Enter there. Try it.
She said he's here.
I just doubt that there's.
Oh, yeah. Sir, come on in. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
How you doing?
The story was just getting started, and the biggest twists were about to unfold, but we'll have to save that for next time. For now, I think it's important to note that while Jesus did say that what we do to the least of these, we do unto him, he also pointed out that the poor will be with us always. Obviously, that's not an excuse to do nothing, but at the same time, I don't think it brings God glory for us to simply be so overwhelmed by all the need around us that we become crippled in our ability to love. More than anything in my time with James, the Lord was showing me that while clothes and food are wonderful necessities, giving someone their dignity back and actually seeing them was the most important thing. Not just with the homeless, but with everyone.